Hi, welcome to Motherhood Unfiltered. My name is Elizabeth.
And I'm Mitzi, and we're going to be talking about everything motherhood, everything annoying husbands, unexpected symptoms. But before we start all of that, we're going to do an introduction and get to know Elizabeth and I. We are sister-in-laws. I married her brother, and Elizabeth and I had two different pregnancies. I had a girl.
I had a boy,
I had my daughter at 38 weeks.
and I went past due 5 days.
Yeah, I was nauseous all the time.
I was not nauseous at all.
So in this podcast, you're going to get two different versions, two different backgrounds, but we're going to be explaining a little bit more about ourselves and telling you where we came from and why we are the way we are.
I come from a traditional background. My parents would never speak about sex. They did not give us any advice about our relationships. Very closed off. I wasn't allowed to go out past 10 p.m. I always had to be home. And it has formed who I am.
And I came from a different background. My parents kind of were lenient. They always talked about sex. Like that was something my mom really focused on because she had traditional parents and she wanted to make sure that I didn't there's nothing wrong with getting pregnant early, but she didn't want me to get pregnant early because her mom never taught her about condoms or sex, or everything that she learned was from her friends. So she always made sure that I knew since I was like 10 years old. I was like, girl, I don't want to know about this right now. But yeah, very non-traditional, very open, very it's okay if you get home at 2 a.m. It's okay if your boyfriend sleeps over. Because of all my freedom, I honestly only wanted to stay home. I wanted to be on my phone. I wasn't like the party every weekend or nothing like that, even though I had all the freedom to.
I mean, I did come from a very traditional background, but I'm very conservative, very shy, and I am proud of being raised with traditional parents. Even though my parents never really spoke to me about sex, about protection, I learned this through school, education classes in middle school and high school, cousins, friends. It wasn't really through my parents.
No, yeah, and with my parents, I remember my dad and my mom like bringing a banana, bringing a condom, and they're rolling it down. I was like, what's going on? I was 13, I was like, okay, what? Okay. Also, our families are very two different types of family, very both kind and fun, but you can tell the tradition's a little different. Where the moms on our side both work, and like
on my side, my mom is a stay-at-home mom. My dad, you see him at parties. All my uncles, they're wearing their tejanas. They're with their wives. They're very macho. Completely different than Mitzi's family.
Yeah, very different, but that doesn't mean we didn't get raised really well. So
Exactly, and I do like the traditional.
Yeah.
Like I do like to implement it in my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Both of us do work. Unfortunately, maybe down the line I'll be stay-at-home wife like my mom. It is amazing, but unfortunately at the moment I cannot.
We had a little break because our baby started getting fussy. Yeah, because we do have very different backgrounds. We noticed that maybe people also have traditional parents that don't talk about all of the stuff that we go through as women, honestly, because pregnancy is not easy and doing it alone even harder. Like
Things that we go through also, a lot of people never told me about it.
yeah,
Not until I was actually going through it. I'm like, wait, this is something that happens?
that's what we're here for, and that's why we even wanted to start this podcast, because fortunately for us too, we had each other. I had obviously my knowledge, she had her knowledge, and we had each other with, are you going through this? Yeah, I'm going through this.
And luckily, I mean, I had my baby after Mitzi. So
Yeah.
I had Mitzi.
Yeah, so I was open about everything. I was like, girl, you're gonna get this and this and this.
And it's great to have someone to talk about, because with me, you would assume that maybe I'm going to go to my mom and talk to her about it. But I mean, she's very reserved, so she's not very open about these things. And going to Mitzi, it was great.
But yeah, we don't want you guys to feel alone. So just tune into our podcast and we'll talk about everything and anything. And you guys could leave comments, questions, anything you'd like, and we will answer it for you. We're very, very open. I'm very open. We will give you all the information. But yeah, that was our little intro. So stay updated and we will be posting every week. Hopefully you guys got to know us enough where you guys want to keep up with our stories, and maybe you guys even relate to some of our troubles, our experiences. So you guys can find us on Spotify,
On TikTok,
on Instagram,
and on YouTube.
yes, and we will be talking about everything motherhood. So thank you guys for tuning in for our intro, and welcome to Motherhood Unfiltered.